Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another Get It All Done video. I hope this video provides you with all of the motivation and inspiration you need to get started on an amazing week. We're going to be doing some cleaning, some decorating, some cooking. We're just getting it all done, and we're even going to be doing some planning, and that's where I'm going to start my video off, is with planning my week ahead. A portion of today's video is sponsored by Norton 360. In today's connected world, privacy and security are big concerns, and the personal information you think being kept private, like passwords, account numbers, and browsing history, may actually be getting exposed because password protection doesn't block cybercriminals from hacking into your devices or stealing the info you send and receive over Wi-Fi, even if you're connected in your own home. Plus, companies can track your online activities to target you with ads. That's why Norton 360 includes a VPN with bank-grade encryption, SafeCam to help block PC webcam takeovers, real-time device security against existing and emerging cyber threats, and more. Keep prying eyes out with Norton 360 multi-layer protection to keep your personal information and online behavior private and more secure. Save up to 50% on Norton 360 for your first year. Check everything out in my description box below. Thank you again to Norton 360 for sponsoring this portion of today's video. So now that I'm done planning my week ahead and writing down the recipes that I'll be using in today's video, I'm just going to go ahead and strip all of our beds. This is the bed in my office that comes down from the wall. I recently had my sister staying over, so I'm just going to go ahead and strip that bed as well. And then we're moving into my bedroom, which you can tell Rylan does not move for anybody, just like all of my other dogs. So I thought that was really cute that she just decided to lay there even though I was stripping the bed, because Romeo always used to do that as well. So we're also going into the nursery and stripping Ella's bed and changing table, and then we're going to go into the boys' rooms and strip their beds as well. Do you guys have a routine for how often you wash your linens? I feel like we don't have a routine, only because there winds up being like some kind of spill or a random mess that I have to go ahead and wash the sheets anyway. But I would love to get on a routine of just doing all of the linens in the house. So I am just going to go ahead and check off what we've done so far. You can also see I wrote down some recipes. I'm going to be making a vegetable fried rice as well as a bourbon chicken in the crock pot. It came out really delicious, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to go ahead after this and show you the template that I use to plan my week ahead. It's very useful and it keeps me not overwhelmed, since it's just 1 week at a time versus an entire month at a time. Next, I am just throwing everything in the washer, and after I get that started, we're going to go ahead and get started on our gluten-free apple cinnamon muffins. They are so delicious, you have to try them. So first I'm preheating my oven to 375 degrees. I already got all of my dry ingredients out, and now I'm just going to peel and chop 4 apples. The apples that I'm using are Pink Lady because that's what we had on hand. And the way that I find my muffin recipes, you know my kids love muffins, is that I see what ingredients I have, that a lot of times like produce that is starting to go, and I will look up recipes based on what we have. So For example, this recipe, I looked up apples and yogurt in muffins. So these muffins have apples and yogurt. However, if you don't have yogurt or you don't like yogurt, even though you can barely really tell that there's yogurt inside, you could use buttermilk in its place. Now that all of my ingredients are prepped, I am using 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup of sugar, a half cup of brown sugar, and I'm just going to go ahead and cream that all together until it's nice and fluffy. I doubled the recipe because the original recipe is only for 12 muffins, and muffins go really quickly in my house with there being 5 of us, so I always double the muffin recipe. And I just added 2 large eggs. And then next I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of Greek style yogurt. And next I'm just adding in 2 cups of gluten-free flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Once that is all mixed, I'll go ahead and add in my apples. I always go ahead and use a ice cream scooper for my muffins just to get the same amount in every one. I totally recommend this small muffin tin if you have little ones. They really like to have the little muffins. And then in my regular, I think it's a cupcake tin, not a muffin tin, and I really don't know if there's a difference. I'm just using 2 scoops. However, I cooked them for the same amount of time and they came out perfectly. I ended up with a ton of mix left over somehow. So I wound up putting that in like a little bread loaf pan, and now I'm just adding a little bit of that brown sugar. I saved some from the recipe because it just seemed like so much, and I'm just sprinkling a little bit on top. Now that that is all in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple cups of rice, and then I'll put this away for later. I'm just getting everything ready for our vegetable fried rice and for our bourbon slow cooker chicken. Next up, we are starting the sauce for our slow cooker bourbon chicken. There's no actual bourbon in this recipe, so we're just going to need 1 cup of honey, 1 cup of soy sauce, and we use a gluten-free soy sauce, a half cup of ketchup, and then 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm going to go ahead and stir that all around, and then we're also going to add some red pepper flakes. This is optional. It was not very spicy at all, so I definitely recommend doing the red pepper flakes for some spice, and you're just going to need a half a teaspoon for that. And then we're also going to do a couple of garlic cloves. Again, this is based on your preference of taste. And then we're going to be doing a half cup of onion. So while I'm already making a mess, I'm going to go ahead and do some more garlic clove and set that aside. And I'm going to cut up all of our onion right now as well. And we're going to be using this garlic that I'm pressing right now for our vegetable fried rice. And the other half of our onion we'll be using for the vegetable fried rice as well. Now that our sauce is complete, I'm just going to go ahead and pour that over 3 chicken breasts. You can use chicken thighs if you like as well, and you could also go ahead and use more meat. The recipe called for 3 pounds. This is definitely under that, but we're just going to go ahead and cook that on high for 2 hours. My slow cooker cooks really quickly, so you could also do it for more time than that. Or you could do it on low for 4 hours. So I got all of the ingredients ready for my fried rice, and I was going to go ahead and put that away in the refrigerator for now, and then it's just in time for the muffins. The muffins are ready, and like I said, they were absolutely delicious. Now we are headed back into the laundry room, just going ahead and switching the laundry and adding another load in as well. We're headed back in the kitchen, and now that these are slightly cooled off, I'm just going to go ahead and put them on a cooling rack. Alright, now it's time to finally go ahead and clean up all of this mess. First, I'm just loading the dishwasher and then hand washing everything that needs to be hand washed. And then we're going to get into the fun part after we clean up the living room. Alright, now that all the dishes are done, we are heading into the living room. The toys are just extra today because we just had my son's 5th birthday party the day before I'm filming this. So I'm just picking up all of the toys, and we're going to go ahead and vacuum, wipe off the fireplace, and we're going to clean the outside sliding doors as well. I'm so excited to finally be redecorating my mantle. You know, I've been looking for some simple pieces for a really long time now. I definitely needed to add some height to the mantle, so I'm really happy that I found these pillar candle holders and these little vases, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw some pink flowers in there and some candles on top of the pillars. I really love how this came out, and now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm putting away our pillows. I'm not sure if I'm going to give these away yet or just order new pillowcases for them, but I'm ready to get rid of these pillows, and I'm just adding some fresh summery pillows. I really wanted to do an entire summer clean and decorate, but lately I've just been really into less, so I didn't want to go ahead and buy a ton of summer decor when I'm not feeling it. I truly feel like you should just go by your mood and your gut, and right now less in my house is making me happier, especially since our house is full of toys no matter what we do. Before I add our pretty new pillows, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe down these sliding doors. I'm going to vacuum the floor multiple times because my kids had a little bit too much fun with tortilla chips in the living room. I'm going to vacuum the couch as well. I am loving the way that everything came out. It just feels nice and fresh, clean and minimal. Alright, so it's been about 2 hours since we put our chicken in. I'm just going to go ahead and not really shred it. I'm going to kind of break it up into chunks with my fork. I also added some cornstarch. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit while I make my rice. The cornstarch is just to thicken the sauce. So if you have flour or something else that you like to use as a sauce thickener, by all means use that. Alright, so in this pan I had sauteed some yellow onion with a little bit of vegetable oil, until they were translucent, and then I added that garlic in, let that cook up a little bit, and then I added a little bit of canned peas and a little bit of frozen corn because that is what I had on hand. If I had what I wanted, I would have put some frozen peas and carrots in this, but I didn't have that. I also added 3 tablespoons of soy sauce and a little bit of salt and pepper, and it came out perfectly. I just love using a serving tray when our family is eating dinner together. I don't know, it just makes me happy. So if serving trays make you happy, definitely get one. So I'm just putting everything on this serving tray, and then I'm going to pour some of the leftover sauce into a little ramekin in case anybody wants some extra sauce on their chicken or on their rice. Dinner was absolutely amazing, and now I'm headed back upstairs. I want to go ahead and just make up Ella's bed and changing table before I go ahead and get her ready for bed and give her her bath and all of that. Chris went ahead and made the boys' bunk beds as well as our bed. I just got the kids to sleep, and now I'm going to go and finish up everything else I needed to do. I'm just putting the muffins on this little cake stand. I just love to display our baked treats. This actually was one of the things I got from my wedding registry over 6 years ago. So now I'm just going to go ahead and wipe everything down. You're going to see me using my scraper a lot just because I haven't had time to do a good wipe down of the kitchen since the birthday party. So I'm just spraying everything down, and then I'm going to use the scraper to get all of the yucky gook off of our countertops. Now that everything's wiped down, I'm just going to add a couple of pieces of new decor. I actually got this and used this for the birthday party for like napkins and plates and things like that, but now I'm going to leave it in the middle of our island and just put whatever fruit I have left in it on the bottom. It's actually almost time for us to go grocery shopping, so we only had bananas, and I used the rest of those apples that were starting to go for our muffins. I absolutely love functional decor, so I love how that little stand came out since it can also double as a fruit holder as well. Next up, I'm just putting this little home sign up, but I love those hydrangeas so much I just couldn't put them away, so I'm actually going to add them to this new sign that we got that a friend recently purchased for us that I absolutely love. It says wherever you are is home, and it says Carter, Tanner, Ella, and Everly. And finally, I'm just going to go ahead and vacuum. I really wanted to steam mop, but my body was telling me it is time to rest since the days leading up to this video, I was getting ready for my son's birthday and I did everything. I did all the decorations, the cooking, and the cake. So my body is just tired, being that I'm 17 weeks pregnant. So it is finally time for some self-care. I have my face mask out and my facial brush, and now I'm just doing a nice little bath with some Epsom salts. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
Soul